Hi guys, welcome back to My Colourful Country Life. So today I have a book review and a flip through for you all. Now this book was kindly gifted to me by the artist Geetanjali Behera and it's called Mindful and Meditative Coloring. Now the book is approximately 23 centimetres in length and 20 centimetres in width, and it is roughly 1 centimetre thick. And the cover is matte coloured cardstock, and the pages have a stitch, they're stitch bound. So I did find a little blurb about the book on Amazon, which I'll just read out to you guys. And it says, with these stunning and approachable illustrations of mandalas and other Buddhist symbols, readers will colour beautiful art while falling in love with the meditative process of colouring, using it to unwind from the day and help quell the anxieties of everyday life. Readers will fill in illustrations little by little, focusing on the journey and experience of colouring over time, as opposed to only working towards an end goal. This will help readers build a meditative practice that they can come back to again and again with each drawing. Pictures are accompanied by Buddhist quotes and teachings, which reinforces the calming effect of colouring for readers, offering bits of wisdom on mindful practices as they work through the book. And with a wide variety of quotes, figures, and practices represented in this book, there is something that will resonate with everyone. Illustrations will be printed on special quality watercolour paper, which will highlight the beautiful colours in the illustration, making them pop. As the focus is on the meditative experience of colouring and the journey of filling in a piece over time, these durable pages will allow this book to perfectly fit into people's busy routine and make the experience available on the go from remote locations. Now, this book was first published by Page Strip Publishing in September of 2020, and it can be found at basically any good bookstore, as well as online with Amazon, Book Depository here in Australia, and I've even seen it in Target in the US. So it's currently sitting at only $8.66 on Amazon Australia at the moment, which is an absolute bargain. It says on the cover here, 40 plus stunning illustrations to help you find your inner Zen. So let's open up and have a quick look inside. So we just have this orangey cardstock. Okay, and firstly we have the cover page. We've got lots of little patterns coming out from the center, almost like little sunbeams. You know the little sunbeams you get peeking through the clouds sometimes? I read this book probably a couple of decades ago now. It's called April Fool's Day by Bryce Courtney. And for anyone that doesn't know it, it's a tribute to his late son. And he describes the beams of light coming from the clouds as fingers of God. And to this day, I still call them that. But I'm also the same person who told my kids when they were little and scared of the thunder that it was just God farting. Okay, so we have some little colourable pieces here as well. And we've got the publishing information here. We have her dedication for the book and also a little quote here, every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up, by Pablo Picasso. Okay, now we have the author's note, which I'll just read this out to you. I am a freelance fashion illustrator and artist. I've been creating colouring book drawings for the past 3 years and I always wanted to create my own. The idea came to my mind a few years ago when I went to the Centre for Living Buddhist Art in Dharamshala, India. I was there for 6 months working on my first Thangka painting, White Tara, Goddess of Compassion. She is a symbol for transcendental knowledge and purity. It felt like I was in a meditative state for those 6 months as I worked on that painting for hours every day. During that time, an idea evolved to create some drawings related to spirituality so that other people could feel that sense of peace and positive energy in their minds. This book contains drawings based on spiritual themes and symbols and includes a message with each drawing. To learn more about a particular design, please refer to the the drawing section, pages 94 to 95. My hope is that while you colour and reflect on each message, you too will experience a state of mindfulness, of being completely present, remembering that we have a body, that we are breathing, that we are alive. Let's get started on this beautiful journey. With love, Geetanjali. Okay, following that, we have the nameplate page. Hi, I'm, insert your name. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for being a part of this journey, and a little illustration here that you can also colour. And we're on to our first illustration. Now, the illustrations are quite small, so some of them will be fairly quick to complete. Some of them are quite detailed, like this one has some major tiny details going on. I'll hold it up a little bit closer so you can see. You'll need a really sharp pencil if you want to colour each little detail, or what you could do instead of colouring the small little details is shade in sections. So for example, these little triangles here, you could shade it like the whole triangle, shade it in different shades of blue, for example, and do each triangle with that shade, with that colour combination, instead of doing each tiny little part of that triangle instead. So the pages are technically single-sided, but they do come with these little illustrations and quotes or little bits of information on the opposite pages. This one says, the first drawing of Lord Ganesha, inspired by popular calendar art from India, is dedicated to the deity of prosperity and the Lord of new beginnings. While you are playing with colours in these drawings, meditate on the mantra and beautiful thoughts. So, as you can also see, there's page numbers at the bottom. So this is page 10, which means the illustration is on page 11. So when you look up the index at the back to see the extra info, you're going to be looking for that odd number. And we've got number 11 here. Lord Ganesha, or Ganesha, I apologise for my pronunciation, portrait inspired by Indian calendar art, which was started by artists like Raja Ravi Varma in the 19th century. Okay, so let's start flipping through. And I'll read the quotes out to you. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. You are the sky, everything else, it's just the weather. I am still learning. Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. I really like that quote. Pablo Picasso. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. It is good to love many things, for therein lies the true strength, and whosoever loves much performs much, and can accomplish much, and what is done in love is well done. I really like this picture here. You can see this in beautiful blues and purples. Be faithful in small things, because it is in them that your strength lies, from Mother Teresa. Let us always meet each other with smile, for the smile is the beginning of love. This is probably one of my most favourite pictures in the book. I just love her style of drawing flowers. Just those little flourishes are really pretty. Even the clouds. That's a really pretty picture. Life without love is no life at all. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. I paint my own reality. If people knew how hard I worked to get my mastery, it would not seem so wonderful at all. Michelangelo. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it is too low and we reach it. I am seeking, I am striving, I am in it with all my heart. Let your life lightly dance on the edges of time like dew on the tip of a leaf. This illustration is so beautiful. I really like this one. It does have a lot of tiny details. Look at that. But like I was saying before, you could colour it in groups rather than in individual pieces. So for example, like this little section here, instead of colouring each little, what looks like a little petal, you could shade the whole box or shade the whole thing going around from light to dark. Like you could make it a gold metal or something similar instead of doing each individual part. And what is this one? Page 40. I want to have a look and see what information we have. Okay, so here is Lord Jagannath, portrayed in the Patachitra art form, which is known for its intricate details as well as its mythological narratives and folk tales. I think I want to learn more about this Lord. The more I think about it, the more I realise there is nothing more artistic than to love others. It all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you if you allow it. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. The Dalai Lama. That's a nice one too. I like these little sketches, illustrations on these sides too. These ones are nice, quick little illustrations if you only have a small amount of time to colour. Okay. If you cry because the sun has gone out of your life, your tears will prevent you from seeing the stars. This is another nice little quick illustration as well. So I started colouring this page mainly because when I first opened the book, the paper felt quite different to what I'm used to or what I've known in the past. So it is actually quite a smooth paper, but it's also quite thick at the same time. So if you can hear this. So it's quite thick, but it's very smooth. So I wanted to see how the pencils would lay down in it, and also a few other mediums. Mainly because it said in the blurb from Amazon that I read out to you at the beginning that it was good premium watercolour paper. So I used Prismacolors to colour for my pencils, and for the blue backgrounds around the flowers I used just normal watercolour paints, and I use a lot of water. Like I drown the page when I'm using my watercolours, and it has not warped at all, not one bit. Now, the black lines are Posca, so acrylic paint pens, and you can see them through on the other side. So if you're going to use your fine liners, they probably will come through to the other side. So you might be risking the little illustration on that page. If you do that, I suggest putting a bit of cardstock in between so nothing goes through to the next page. But watercolor mediums, look at that. No warping to the page whatsoever. Okay. So next, everything happens for a reason. That reason causes change. Sometimes it hurts, but in the end, it's all for the best. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. I like that one too. Mahatma Gandhi. Lots of beautiful patterns in here to colour. You are not separate from the whole. You are one with the sun, the earth, the air. You don't have a life. You are life. Eckhart Tolle. I've read a couple of Eckhart Tolle's books many years ago, maybe even a decade or more ago. I'm showing my age now. It was quite a long time ago. But his books are fantastic for mindfulness as well. Like a lotus flower, we too have the ability to rise from the mud, bloom out of the darkness and radiate into the world. The body is your temple. Keep it pure and clean for the soul to reside in. Now this has a lot of detail. I'll hold that closer. Lots of little details in that one that will keep you busy for a long time. Inside the chaos, build a temple of love. You can have no dominion greater or less than that over yourself. Leonardo da Vinci. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. The law of attraction states that whatever you focus on, think about, read about, and talk about intensely, you're going to attract more of it into your life. I like that too, the law of attraction. Happiness is your nature. It is not wrong to desire it. What is wrong is seeking it outside when it is inside. I am blooming from the wound where I once bled. I put my heart and soul into my work and I've lost my mind in the process. I feel you, Vincent van Gogh, I feel you. Exist by the sun and love by the moon, for you must live in the light to embrace the shadows it so perfectly casts. The true use of art is first to cultivate the artist's own spiritual nature. This is pretty. It reminds me of wallpaper. Oh, the highest point of yesterday should be the lowest point of today. This actually looks a little bit psychedelic to me. It's a true study of depth here. It looks like it's going inwards, like you're looking down a hole and everything's getting smaller, like if you were looking down a well. That's pretty. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Buddha. I like them too. Love always brings difficulties. That is true, but the good side of it is that it gives energy. This one would look really nice as stained glass windows. Give it a stained glass effect, like church windows. Colour is my day-long obsession, joy and torment. Our life is the creation of our minds. Since at the beginning and end of our lives we are so dependent on others' kindness, how can it be that in the middle we neglect kindness towards others? In ultimate death, if I search for myself, I will not find it, and if you search for yourselves, you will not find them. And that is our final page, the thank you page. This is a really pretty floral motif. Got butterfly in there as well. And here are our about the drawings pages for you to read through as you go along. I think I'll be reading the about the drawings and looking it up and finding out more info before I colour each page. Now there's nowhere for you to test your colours, but you could use the back of this page. And we've just got a bit of yellow cardstock, and that is the end of the book. Let me know down below what you think of the book. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.